Hey everyone, Chris here, the RC Geek. We're out at the field taking a look at the HSDJets Cessna 182. This is a really nice looking model. It's a nice size. It's got a 2-meter wingspan and it flies awesome. The assembly philosophy is actually quite similar to the E-flite Cessna 152. It's of course the 182. It's got the longer cabin. Nice thing is you've got the nice clear windows here, but interestingly enough about the assembly, there's really no mechanical fasteners involved whatsoever. Everything just kind of snaps together. So you start with putting the landing gear on, and so you put the nose in, you got to connect your steering servo push rod there, and then you put the main gear on, and that all just screws into place. But then once you have those on, you slide the horizontal tails into place, and they just have a plastic clip that holds them together. Now you do want to make sure that you get a nice positive push together. You want to hear a snap when you do, and that will ensure that they are fully engaged. And give yourself a pull test as well to make sure that nothing's going to come loose. And then from there, the dorsal, again, it just slides into place and clips into place with plastic, and then finally the wings slide in over the spars, and so you've got the wing struts here, and those are screwed in at the wing and held with a cotter pin at the fuselage. But these antennas here on the top of the fuselage are essentially what hold the wing in place. It's a nice tight fit, so once you slide it in, you place these antennas there, and it's all together and ready to go. I found that design philosophy really interesting, and it's working fantastic. I've been doing all kinds of maneuvers with the airplane and no issues whatsoever. So it's pretty fun, and it makes it super easy to transport, to take the wings off and such. Now, with respect to the CG, it's per the manual, which if you look at the underside, and I'll show a picture on the video, there's two open slots where the spar goes through. Well, if you set your fingers right at the back of those slots here at the root and lift up the airplane there, that's about where the CG falls, and it's actually quite neutral in the air, so I wouldn't want to necessarily move it anywhere further back from that. Now, to get that, I'm using a Roaring Top 6250 milliamp hour battery, and that is placed here in the nose area. Basically, the front of the pack is aligned with this forward edge here in the hatch area. One other thing to note, you do need a separate 2-cell LiPo for the receiver, and so keep that in mind. I've just got a 2S2000 in here, and that works great. Altogether, it's a really nicely finished model. It looks really good, and it characterizes the Cessna 182 about perfectly. And the landing gear are all shock absorbing, and those work fantastic as well, which is really cool. One other thing I want to mention is with respect to the receiver setup, there is a black box that all of the servos kind of run into. Now that's actually set up for an S-Bus Futaba setup. If you're not running Futaba, if you run a Spectrum like I am or something like that, what you have to do is essentially there are additional servo pigtails in there, and each of the pins, there are output pins on the black box. They're labeled, and so you just connect from there to the receiver, and that's it. So it's a pretty traditional setup and pretty easy to do. But I do want to mention it because it is a little bit different than you might typically see. Now, with respect to the controls, I'll provide my control deflections on the video, but for the ailerons, I'm at my mid-rate setting. For the elevator, I'm at my low-rate setting. And so for ailerons, I'm at 80% with 8% expo. For the elevator, I'm at 55%, and I don't have any expo in there at all. And then for the rudder, I'm at 100% with 25% expo. The airplane will do a beautiful knife edge, but that rudder is really effective, so I could probably tone that down. And then with respect to the flaps, the black box that comes in the model, it has a mix already programmed into it. I added an additional 5% down elevator to what is automatically programmed out of the box. Now, flying the airplane, this is a surprisingly aerobatic model. It'll do snap rolls, loops, rolls, implements, whatever you want to do. It's got plenty of power, It slows down really nicely for landings. It's a touch and go machine. So if you got a nice long runway, you can just do touch and goes all day long. Practice trying to get it as slow as you can on the landings. It will sink on you if you stall it. So it stays wings level, and if you're in the ground, it will tend to kind of drop if you get it too slow. The shock absorbing gear work perfectly, and so if you run into an issue, it's not really a problem at all. And so otherwise, it'll do knife edges, inverted flight, any kind of maneuvers you want to throw at it, it'll handle. And of course, you're going to make your passengers sick in the process, but yeah, it's been extremely fun. With that said, let's go give you guys a flight, show you what it can do, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap this up. Let's make the passengers sick.
Right.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, those are, you can do something like that. You probably don't need that. Only basic battery. If it's a good sized plane, you can probably fit all kinds of batteries in there.
There it is.
All right, guys, so that's the HSDJets Cessna 182. This is a really nice looking airplane, nice smooth finish, flies awesome. It's got, you know, any of the aerobatics you want to do with it, it'll do. Obviously not scale, but it's pretty fun. Really enjoying the airplane, and so we're going to get some more flying in and have a good time. That's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to follow along on social media at the RC Geek. Subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you at the field. Stupid flies. I need chopsticks like Mr. Miyagi.
I can let the hornets out.
Yeah. Hey, what's this? And shake it up. Oh God, bees everywhere. They're everywhere.